Hey there, wild one. Almost 20 years ago, I stepped onto a plane headed to Spain, not fully realizing just how much that decision would shape the way that I see and experience the world. What started as a study abroad experience turned into something so much bigger for me. It gave me new friendships, new perspective, and a deeper understanding of how beautifully different our lives can look depending on where we're standing. While I was living in Bilbao, I met someone who would become a lifelong friend of mine. We came from completely different backgrounds. We had different languages, different cultures, different ways of life, but somehow we met right in the middle. And what's even more special, a couple years later, she turned around and came to the US and experienced my world too. So, in this episode, we reconnect and reflect on what it means to step outside of our comfort zones, the things that surprised us, that challenged us, and what stayed with us long after we came home. We talk about cultural differences from siestas and late dinners to small town Midwest life. We talk about travel, both the magic of it and the lessons we had to learn the hard way. And most importantly, we talk about how opening yourself up to other people and places can truly change you. Because sometimes it's not just about seeing the world, it's about seeing yourself more clearly through it. This is a conversation about friendship, curiosity, and what happens when you say yes to something unknown. Reclaim your rhythm. Rethink the rules. Rewrite your life. This is Wildly Intentional, the show where we question the scripts we've inherited and build a life, family, and legacy on purpose. If you're done living on autopilot, come with a curious mind and a courageous heart. Here, we talk about what it means to question, unlearn, create, and build what truly matters. I'm your host, Mandy, maverick mom of three, maker, family culture builder, lifelong question asker, and the friend people call when they're ready to rethink, well, everything. I'm here to shake the norms, tell the truth, and light the way forward. Bea!
Hola, how are you?
Good. Oh, it's so good to see you.
How are you?
Oh, good. How are you doing?
Super good. Super good. So exciting.
Yes, I kept seeing you on Instagram and I'm like, God, I need to talk to her. But I know that that means that you do the heavy lifting because my Spanish is muy mal.
Muy mal. No, you forgot all the things that you learned.
It's hard when you're not speaking it all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Do
true.
you use English a lot for your job?
More or less with my boss and so on. He's Italian. Some of them are French, so we speak in English. Yes. Did you remember how we met?
The intercambio program,
Yeah,
right?
the university.
Yeah. So USAC, the United States Study Abroad program, had like you signed up, I think, to meet an American. And it was, and then they told us, like, here's a Spanish person that you can meet with and just like get to know them and see if they have advice for you and go out for cafe con leche or something. And if you guys make friends, then great. And if not, then like that was kind of our attempt at getting you somebody local.
Yeah.
And we hit it off. Like we had a
20 years after.
Yes. It was so fun. I was so happy I got you because I thought it was amazing. What did you think? Like, what made you sign up to even do that? Or what did you think after you met me?
Wow, amazing, amazing to meet you. It was one of the best thing because yesterday I was speaking with to my little girl and it was like, I'm gonna talk with a friend from US, and she's like, what is US? The first thing because she's 5 years old,
Yeah.
It's another country, another okay, and she speak English. Yes. So you need to speak English. Okay. So I need to learn to speak English because you need to learn how to communicate with other people. No, so it was more or less my lesson, or try to
Yeah.
have a lesson to her. No, but yes, I remember super good how do we met, and it was, I don't know why, because I've been always talking to different people from other countries, from France or whatever. So I was like, why not to have to meet people from other countries? Why not? And I think I was the only one from my class that I did it, but it was okay. Here we are.
Yeah, I think Spain held such like a special place in my heart because like I don't know, you and I both are like curious and excited about everything.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why we connected so well. But because of that experience too, Bea, I just felt like I got to keep these people in my life, even if I am in America. Like they're just too amazing to
Yeah.
have it be like 6 months in my 20s and then over. Like I love our friendship and
Yeah, me too.
think the world of you. So do you speak English with your daughter or are you teaching her English?
French.
French. That's
Actually,
right. You knew French though. Is that Basque inspired that you learned French?
no, I went to the French school, so I try to teach her, and to my little boy also. I try to teach them French. When they watch TVs in French, I
Okay.
try to, because sometimes like, Mommy, I don't want it. I want like as we speak, as we speak.
And they mean Spanish. They want to listen to
Yeah.
Spanish. But
And but I try. And if there is no cartoons in French, then we switch into English, because I think English is gonna be easier for them to learn,
yeah.
in the school, at school or whatever. So it's gonna be easier for them.
How long have you been exposing them to other languages then?
Since I was 4,
I love that. That's
yeah,
so good. I mean, we don't really get exposure to second languages until like high school here.
yeah, that's
But
true. That's
I
true.
I try to teach the kids like basic Spanish.
But just
And when I was doing some like numbers and colors and stuff like that, that's when I was feeling really good. I think I might have what's up you that day and been like, actually, we could just call Bea and you guys could see how Spanish English, like Spanglish
we
sounds.
can do an intercambio program with them, and they can come to my home, and I can send my kids to yours home.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd be amazing.
I've always wanted to host in the same way that Begonia hosted me because I'm so happy I signed up for a host mom.
Yeah, I
That
remember you loved her. You were like super happy with her.
I still try to talk to her, but it's just hard because all the translation's on me. But she cooked for me. I mean, I remember we would like drink and play chin chon until like 3 in the morning. And my teachers would be like, you were not doing that. I'm like, I was too, like with my host mom. I loved playing chin chon, but then I found out that's kind of like the old person game to play.
Yeah, but it's okay.
It was
She was
so
teaching you
fun.
the future of your.
Yeah, it's like rummy. But so one thing I found was interesting, Vea, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but this was kind of like me even getting onto the plane to get to Spain was really kind of scary because like a week before that, the Madrid bombings happened.
I don't remember. It was 2011, no? No,
No, it was 2006.
2006.
And
Wow.
I remember flying into Madrid and seeing that terminal like blown up and being
Wow.
like, oh my God. Like, I didn't even think about it signing up. But then, do you remember at school? Like, we saw all over the walls at some point, like a lot of graffiti for protest happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the Americans had really no idea what was going on. But I do remember like the day the protest happened when like they blocked the road and told us we shouldn't have come to school. And I think everybody was just so confused. Do you remember that? Or like, was that?
I remember, I think in Spain in general, and at the university, we have this, let's say, spirit to be against everything and to protest about everything. So it's something that we lose when we get older, and I think we need to keep
The
it.
will to fight.
No, I guess to protest, and yeah. Sometimes we need to how do you say in English, to raise our voice, you know? And
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to raise our voice and say, hey, this is not good, this is not good, this is bad. So I think that this is what Spanish people do. Even in France is even more chaotic, let's say.
Is that because it's all like the Basque region, or is that just like the culture to stand up for what you believe in and to fight for what's right?
Both, I would say both.
Okay.
Both. Both, because in Basque Country we had a lot of problems with violence and terrorism. So I think we have part of our DNA is to raise our voice in general. So
You know, I love that though. Like
yeah.
this podcast series is called Out Loud and on Purpose. And like, it's like, hey, not for everybody, but if you're here, thanks for listening, you know? So I'm just curious, Bea, like when you think of Americans or back then, before like were we kind of some of the first Americans that you thought of, or like was there anything that made me so obviously American?
Yeah, your accent is super American.
Really? What else? I think
I
it's
remember at the
fun.
beginning I was like, I don't understand a word.
Like,
But
oh
then
my
you
God.
get used.
I remember you guys really laughing at that a lot. Oh my God, Bea. And you just thought that was hilarious a lot.
Not hilarious, but it was like, we are used to the typical movies, and it was like it's super like in a movie. It's like a prototype, sometimes. Then we became friends, and then we realized it was a stupid thing we thought, but it's okay.
But I think that that's part of it, right? Is like breaking down like stereotypes and being like, but you're actually a
Stereotypes, yeah.
human that like because I remember I just kind of had fun with it too. And then I would say like the Simpsons type Spanish, be like, ay caramba. And you guys really thought that was funny. But I think that when I learned Spanish in high school, the way my teacher taught me was like, oh, they just do that in Spain. So we're just going to skip that. And then, of course, I find myself in Spain using all the what a lot of the Spanish people would say was like, oh, that's Mexican Spanish. And like caro and
Carros,
coche,
yeah.
I remember was one thing that like
Uh,
Onya would get very like, that's Mexican. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. Like, I just always thought Spanish is Spanish is Spanish. But
yeah.
um, I found, and this was fascinating to me, that there's like Spain Spanish, and that's more the vosotros than the nosotros, right?
Hmm.
And then, but even within Spain, there's like Catalan and Basque and Sevilla. Sevilla, they speak
Andalucía, yeah.
way different. That was hard to translate for me, even in Spain, feeling really good about my Spanish at the
Yeah,
time.
don't worry. Sometimes I didn't understand them, so don't worry.
So it was interesting. But then when I think about like America and how many different like dialects there are, right? Like in the South, how things sound, it makes a lot of sense that there's different ways that things are said within regionally, I guess. Do you have, go
One
ahead.
of the things that we have here in Spain is that we have like 17 different cultures. Every region has its own way of thinking. For example, if you compare South Spanish from Sevilla, for example, from the north, nothing to do. The humor is different. The way of cooking is different. The way of the clothes are different. Everything is different, even if we talk the same language, no? But this is something I think is super. How do you say in English that enrich us? Enrich? Is it
Enrich?
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
They enrich us. By the way, my husband is from the south of Spain,
Is he?
and
And you're from the north of
sometimes,
Spain, right? Like you're from Basque Country.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he's
And
from
now you guys
Córdoba.
live in the middle in Madrid.
Yeah. But sometimes it's true that he's doing his humor things, and I was like, I don't get it. You understand?
Bea,
But it's the same for US because when I went, it was like, for example, when I was traveling working, I went to Los Angeles, New York, and it's like super different. The culture, the way of eating, everything is super different.
yes, very different. East Coast in America, West
Okay.
Coast, and then you have like the Midwest, which is where I'm from, right? Like, it's all very, very different. So I before we jump into your experiences in America, I want to kind of wrap up Spain, but I realized I never even asked you to introduce yourself. Would you introduce yourself, Bea? Who are you?
Okay, who I am? I'm from Bilbao. It's in the Basque country, it's in the north of Spain. I'm 40 already years old.
Me too.
Uh, and I live in Madrid with my husband, my kids, and my dogs. And yeah, I'm a super happy person, an enthusiastic person. And I love doing this type of uh, content, let's say. So everybody can share whatever or listen whatever they want to listen. If they don't want to listen, as you said, don't listen. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm so happy you're here. I was so happy to meet you. And Bea, I just love you so much. It's so fun to be on 19 years later. So you said 40, and I think that that's one of the things that was I turned 21 in December, and in January, I flew to Spain, and it was the most anticlimactic milestone of my life. Because in America, you're all like 21. Yeah, now I'm legal to drink. And I get over there,
Yeah.
like, there's 14-year-olds drinking on the subway, and I'm like, oh, seriously? Like, me, I don't have to show anybody my ID. No one cares. Like, that was wild to me that it just 21 didn't mean anything over there.
No, it's 18. 18, yes, but not 21.
Yeah. That and then drinking like Calimochos was so fun. I still do those
Calimocho.
sometimes just to like remember Spain. That was fun.
And you travel all around Spain, no? And Europe also when you were.
Yeah, I went to I think 15 or 16 countries there. I had an
But
easy time in like Portugal because I felt like Portuguese was, rooted enough in the same elements of Spanish that I could get by speaking Spanish and it'd be like a more handsy conversation, but like you can figure it out. And so I
you
did
enjoy.
pretty good getting around, much better at getting around like Portugal than France. Like for
Oh, for
me,
sure.
the translation to French it was so difficult. Um, but I loved Spain so much. I still do. Like I wanted to go back and see Begonia and be back in Spain. I think we were trying to get there in 2020 and then everything shut down and it just was
Yeah.
not happening. But I loved tapas, like eating tapas with every meal.
What about that? This is a good question. What about the difference on the food between your country and Spain?
Like I don't know that I've ever walked outside and just smelled fresh baked bread like
Mm.
that. And at Begonia's, I mean, right outside was a bakery, and like the baguettes were fresh every day. The jamon on the counter at Begonia's the whole time I was there, like that. I've never seen a pig leg like that on a counter before. Tortilla Española, I loved. It was so good. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but I gained a lot of weight in Spain because we ate so late supper
That's
and
true.
she cooked a lot of food and it was so delicious. And I really didn't want to be rude and like not eat. So I just ate everything she made. And it was delicious. Like she made paella. And I remember calling my parents and being like, oh my gosh, she puts linguistas in there, mini lobsters. And my dad's like, Amanda, those are crawfish. I was like, oh, that makes sense, but they're delicious, like they're so good. So, and Just all the little tapas I thought were really good too. Like just you I don't feel like you could order just a drink and just be served a drink. It was like, here's a drink and some olives. Here's a drink and a little slice of tortilla española. Here's a drink and a little something. And I just loved that.
Mm.
What's your favorite Spanish food to eat?
Oof. I don't know. I think I love to eat everything. I love to cook also. So, uh, everything. I think I love everything about Spanish food.
Yeah, I don't
So,
remember having a bad meal there.
no, 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 no.
Even like blood sausage. I remember when Begonia made that for me, and I remember just the name itself, you're like, "Bleh, no." But you try it and you're like, had you not said blood sausage, like I
Uh,
would have been all in, you know? And but I think if you just kind of remove the name, it's like it's actually really, really good. So
yeah, yeah,
the food was delicious there. And that's part of the reason I loved living with Begonia was because I got to eat more authentic cuisine all the time.
yeah.
It,
Also, you spend your time in the north of Spain where food is something super in the DNA of the Basque country. So you experience like the whole
yeah.
thing.
I mean, she spent like all day making paella. And that was every Sunday she made paella. And I went nuts for paella. It was so good. I looked forward to Sunday every day. And at the university, do you remember too? They had the what do you call them, Bea? They're the chocolate filled croissants.
Yeah, with croissants with chocolate inside, you mean?
Yes. What do you call that?
Is I think it's a French one. It's a French thing. It's how do you call it in Spanish? I don't remember now. In French, it's the pain au chocolat, no? And it's the I don't remember because I don't eat them to don't gain
They were like
weight, but I don't
the
remember.
Americans. We were all like, these are so good, and eating them like every day for breakfast. They were just delicious. I haven't
Yeah.
found anything like that here that's even like
No, you don't
remotely.
have this?
No, I just remembered bimbo bread. Do you remember?
Yeah, I eat every day.
It is so good. It's so good.
But
They're
you have also something similar.
what?
You don't have anything similar?
Not, I'm talking about like the little, like, I guess maybe a Twinkie, but no, Twinkies don't taste
No.
anything like bimbo bread. Like that bimbo bread was so good. I just remembered that. Um, yeah, I think I got really turned on to olives and tortilla española, but I need a good nonstick pan for that because how you guys do that flip is incredible. I have not been able to perfect that.
It's not easy. People think it's easy to do a good tortilla, and it's not so easy.
Do you make that dish often?
Yeah.
Do you put stuff in it or you just stick to like the onions and the potatoes?
Onions, potatoes, and eggs, and salt, and that's it. But you need to you need to be patient, you know. Cook is to have time, and you need to spend time, and you know, it's something that, for example, in my case, I like to take a glass of wine and cook slow and so on while my kids are around and my husband is around. So it's something it's more only than put eggs, potatoes, and so on. It's like something more.
It's good. And so you're talking about slowing down. Like that's how I felt Spain was coming from America, like much slower, like the siesta and fiesta. It was kind of like the
Yeah,
name
that's
of the
it.
game for my time in Spain because like everything closing down for like my mind the first time that that happened was, oh, okay, so during siesta I'll go to the post office and mail postcards to my family and I'll go do this and then I'll do this and I'll do this. And like the first 2 days everywhere I went was closed for siesta and I'm like, oh, like literally everything's closed. I don't, this isn't errand time. This isn't make use of this time. So then I just started really succumbing to it and napping during siesta.
Hmm.
That was a hard adjustment to come back to America too. Because about
Yeah.
2, 3, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get through the rest of the day. I need my siesta.
Now with the with the big malls and so on, it's not so, but small locals and local shops still doing the same thing, still closing from 2 to 5 p.m. So you can have your meal like slow meal, you have your siesta and so on, and yeah,
I
and
loved that. I
mm,
wish like the whole world would subscribe to that.
it's another concept, it's another way to live, I will say. Is you need to sometimes we need to prioritize the day-a-day self-care, let's say like this.
Yeah, because it's a very intentional, like enjoy your meal, enjoy the people
Mhm.
you're with, rest and digest, and then get up and take care of your stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it made so much sense to me. And once I accepted, like, you're not going to run around during this time, I sank into it and it was amazing. I wish I could get back to something like that.
It's something that I try to teach to my kids, like not every day because they are in school, but in during the weekends we sit down together, we have meal together, we speak, then we have siesta.
And so is siesta really just on weekends now that you're working, or is that like embraced throughout the work, like the weekday?
No, 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 not for the weekday, but only for weekends. Only for weekends now.
Okay. Because Begonia, like I know I can't call from 2 to 5. When I look at the time difference, I'm like,
Sleeping
she's sleeping.
is sleeping.
I love that. And I've only done that a handful of times over the last like 19 years where I've called during siesta and she goes, "Okay." Like that's how she'll answer the phone. I'm like, "Oi, Begonita?" And she'll be like, "Amandita, siesta." And then like, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. And she's like, "Agur" is what she
Cool.
says, right? And then she hangs up and I'm like, I should have known better to call during
Yeah,
siesta.
but that's true. Is yeah, it's something that we need to think about, eh?
I love it. It felt very intentional to me
Yeah.
and like a big lifestyle difference, but one that it's like just, yeah, very rejuvenating to listen to your body after you eat a big meal. And I don't know, I really, really enjoyed that aspect of Spain and the food. It was also good.
And the food.
And the people, because here we are still talking.
Here we are, 20 years later.
Yeah. So, do you
Ay.
want to talk about like what it was like growing up in Spain as a child? Like what did your day look like or just like what was different? Do you think about how Americans would do it?
So, what is difference between Spain and US growing up, you mean?
Yeah, like how was your childhood or like what was taught to you that now that you've seen more of the world, you realize that's kind of a uniquely Spain way of bringing it.
I think we have one concept that we are always looking for, and I think is the family. We always return to our families back. For example, I don't know if it's something that is usual in North America, but it's typical when you go out and you are independent, you come back to your home and eat every Sunday with your parents. Every Sunday you go, you have the meal, you have the paella, you have whatever it is, and you spend Sunday with your family. We have it's a smaller country, so we don't have this big distance that you have.
Just for those listening, it's just a little smaller than the state of Texas.
Yeah. So is I think we are more, let's say, not perhaps not now, but when I grew up, we are more in community with people around, with our neighborhoods. You go to play in the plaza, it was called, with all the kids together and so on. So you don't have fear, you don't have feeling of fear because you are surrounded by your neighborhoods and it's more, I don't know, it's perhaps another type of living. And at least in Bilbao is a super small city. So you can go and hang out without um, any danger around you, you feel safe. Um, when I grew up. I don't know now, but when I grew up, it was like this. So, and yeah, it's the family, the food, it was something that was always around us, always around us. But the good thing is that my parents were always pushing me to going out and to see other countries and so on. So also I have the opportunity I went to France, I went to UK, and then some cities in USA. So that's
So
good.
being an international traveler was kind of in your childhood then.
Yeah, I started traveling when I was alone when I was 12, and with the school since I was 8, 10 years old. So yeah,
Wow. Alone at 12? What was your first trip at 12?
to Ireland. No, to UK. No, Ireland. Yes, Ireland. Ireland.
What took you to Ireland then?
Because it was typical, you need to learn English, so go abroad, go to Ireland. You leave your parents like for the whole summer alone.
Seriously? Like they
And
call
you
that a
go
holiday then?
for them, yes, not for
Yeah.
me, but for them, yes. And you go to a host family and you learn English. And it was like, okay, ciao, bye.
I had no idea you did that. That's amazing. At 12.
I at 12, yeah. My first experience was at 12, yeah.
Can you see yourself doing that to your kids at 12?
No, but I think, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how the world it is.
I feel
I
you
don't
on that.
know.
I feel you. Yeah. I didn't know you did that. That's amazing, Bea.
Yeah, and I remember perfectly. I was with a host family. He was like they were like 60 years old or something like that, and he was like an old marine, and all tattoos and everything. And she was like the typical Irish woman doing a lot of bakery and so on. And it was like amazing. And I remember that I didn't know how to say hairdresser, and it was like to dry, to dry, to dry. And it was a good experience, good
Hair
experience.
dryer. A hair
Hair
dryer.
dryer, not hairdresser, hair dryer.
Here it is.
I
Yeah.
don't know even after 15 years after.
See, that's where it's like you don't have to know all the words. You just
No,
like you're carrying this conversation, Bea. If this was in Spanish, I'd be like, "Ah, lo no sé, no sé, no sé.
it's fine.
Ayude, por favor. Oh, Bea. So, I feel that though. Like my first time out was when you met me. Like the first time really leaving the US. I take that back. I had gone to spring break in Mexico and I did a high school trip to Costa Rica. But those were both like, well, I guess one was chaperoned and one was as an adult, just on a mission for spring break. Woo, you know. But this was my first like time across the pond, on the other side of the world, solo. I had extreme comfort in knowing that I was going to be taken in with a host family. I don't think I went anywhere by myself at 12. Like
Yeah,
maybe in my own little community, but that's about it. Um, but so when I was in Spain, I think you remember, like, I was always like, I bought a ticket to Ireland. I bought a ticket to Amsterdam. I'm going to Morocco. Like,
yeah,
I was going to see everything that I could because my thought was, I'm here. Like, things are 20 euros, €1. Like, the tickets to buy stuff when you're there are so much more affordable than if I today want to go to Ireland, for example,
no, for sure.
multiple thousands of dollar trip, right? So I was really trying to maximize seeing as much of Europe as I could. And like I said, I did get to Marrakesh, which was really fun. Um, but Bea, with all that traveling, do you remember I got robbed 3 times? Do you remember that? And I think in hindsight, I look at that, I'm like, for sure I got robbed 3 times. Like I was this clueless American running around like I think I bought a brand new Coach bag too. And so I look back at that. I'm like, the message that was sending everybody was like, look at this loaded American. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I spent all my money on that purse. Like that I'm not. But I look back at that and it's like, I think there are some really obvious, like, you're a tourist here that doesn't know what's going on and you can be taken advantage of. And what I learned from that experience is like, I would, instead of just being on a bus or a plane somewhere and hopping off, like, woohoo, we're in Ireland now, I would be studying the map to figure out, like, how do I get from where I'm going to land to where I want to go so I can get my bearings and my surroundings a little bit more. I was
You
such
were crazy 20 years ago. You were crazy.
I was. That's what I said, like the siesta and fiesta, Bea. Like it was, I mean, when I was in Ireland, I went with two friends from America, met me there on St. Patrick's Day. We didn't get a hotel room. We slept at the
And
airport
then, amazing.
waiting for our flight. We're just like, we're just gonna go to the bars and then go to the airport. And I look back on that, I'm like, kids don't ever do that. Like, I don't want my kids to,
Don't tell your kids you have done this. It's a secret.
hey kids, listen to all the things not to do because your mama, you know.
Uh,
Uh, I guess like it never stopped me from wanting to see more. I think it just made me a little wiser about how I was going
mhm.
around the world. But I guess like from your perspective, Vea, like for somebody that wants to go abroad for the first time, whether it's someone from Europe going to another country or coming to America or from America coming in, like what's one thing you would tell them to do so they don't stand out as such an easy target?
Good question. I think one of the first things I will do is now that we can search in internet everything to see, to look at and see how the violence or everything goes in this country, you know? Because, for example, I remember I was, it happens the same to me. I used to travel a lot because of my work, and I was in Miami. And I'm used to walk to everywhere. And I have my hotel, and I was okay. Let's see Miami Beach. I don't know Miami Beach. And the cops stopped me, and I was like, "Hey, where do you go?" And I was like, "There is 1 hour walking. I'm gonna." No, no, you can't walk. You can't walk. It's super dangerous. I was like, "Ah, okay. I will not walk there."
So then
So
what do
this,
you have
if
to
I
do?
will look, if it's good to walk in Miami, perhaps if you know, it wouldn't happen. But something that you need to be informed before. You need to inform yourself.
Yeah. Hmm. I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway that I had too was just to know how to navigate. I mean, because back in those days, it was like, yeah, I'm just going to go to Prague. Like that. And that's, I was actually,
That's it. Let's go to Prague.
yeah, bam, ticket booked. I'm there. And I never booked like a return trip. It was always just like, when I'm over it, then I'm coming back. And
Yeah.
I think I left Prague going to Germany. And that was one of the times that I was robbed, was like on the train. And I wasn't like willy nilly with my wallet and stuff, like there's professional pickpockets, and it's like that's their job. They're really good at it. And um, man, that was crazy. Like I got stranded at the US Embassy in Prague because Germany like wouldn't let me in. They were like, "You're going back where you came from." I'm like, "America?" And they're like, "No, Prague." I'm like, "I'm not from Prague. Like, I was just on a train there." They're like, "Well, you don't have a ticket to Germany, so you're out." And I was like, ah, like how do I go about this? And it was of all weekends, right? Memorial Day weekend in America. So the US Embassy was shut down and I'm sitting there for 3 days without a passport and any money and no ID. And I'm like,
3 days.
yeah, because it was Memorial Day weekend. So everything was closed. That was chaos. It was and that wasn't even the only time I was robbed, right?
And another thing to don't tell your kids.
Maybe I shouldn't put this out in a podcast because then they'll find it when they're our age. Ah, I don't know, Bea.
Yeah, we need to inform ourselves. We need to get informed and get all the information. And yeah, it's something important.
I think it's one of those, if I had known then what I know now, I would have approached it differently. But then it's also like all those experiences were a really good teacher too.
Yeah, yeah. And if you know someone local from the country, also to try to connect with this local person, something
Yes.
important.
Yeah. Is there anything that you think is considered like common sense in Spain or Europe that Americans might not realize when they travel?
Uh, I think I don't think so. My first answer is this one, but I think that in North America it's such a big country. You have like 50 states.
Hmm.
So um, the length of of US is the same that Europe, you know.
Yeah.
So I think when you travel, you go to another state and so on, and it's another way of traveling. I think it's another way of traveling. It's not the same. For example, here you change to another country and it's another country with um, other culture, you know. In your country, I think it's different. So when you go to another country, like, or you cross to Europe, um, perhaps you go and with in the same way in the same way that you go to another state. I don't know. But here when we travel, it's like we go to UK. Okay, UK is another thing. France is another thing. Germany is another thing. Nothing to do with Spain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very much. So I mean, what I'm hearing you say is that like there's a different language, a different like culture completely, a different type
Hmm.
of cuisine that's normal for
Hmm.
them. We're here like going from Iowa to Wisconsin or Iowa to Florida or Florida to New Mexico or New Mexico to New York. It doesn't matter. Like it's
Doesn't
all
matter.
kind of America
Yeah.
English and like you know where to find pizza and tacos and like the
Yeah.
same stuff, you know, and it's all the same restaurants or chain foods, right? Like you've got mom and pop shops, which I always propose going to, but yeah, you kind of know what to expect when you're crossing state
More
lines.
or less.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to America, anything else you want to say about Spain? Like anything that's a part of your culture or identity as Spanish or Basque that you want to reminisce on?
One thing is super. I've been living in Madrid for, I don't know, 18 years now, and I still saying that I'm from Bilbao, you know? It's like,
Switch
where
your
are you from?
scope
I live in
before.
Madrid, but I'm from Bilbao.
Do you think that's like the Basque heritage? Like that you're like, and I want you to know that I'm Basque.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say about like Basco culture?
Is I think Basque culture is well, like every culture is super unique, but we are people that we in general is a typical people that you can trust, you know. Every person or every people, every single person in Spain, for example, in a professional way, they say it's super hard to do business with Basque people, but when you do business, you're in. So,
So like
or
they're
it's
your
super
loyal.
difficult to have a friend, a Basque friend, but when you have one, you have for the whole life. And I think we are somehow like this.
That makes a lot of sense to me because you and Begonia like aren't going anywhere. You're very loyal people.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, just amazing hearts.
yeah,
I think that's why I love you guys so much and still want to talk to you. I would
yeah.
completely echo that. Yes. Um,
So yeah, I think it's another way to thinking, another way.
but that's just a
Every Spanish people is super good. Basque, we are the best, but
but the Basco is a big part of your personal identity.
sí, 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 sí.
Yeah. Do you feel like your kids associate as Basque then or
It's really difficult because of the political situation there, because you need to really know how to speak Basque, that is called euskera. So if you want to go to school or you pay a private school, or if you want to go to school, you need to learn Basque. So my kids are already 5 and 3. It's gonna be really difficult, you know. And is is, this is the bad thing of the Basque country. The bad thing that we are a little bit like looking for ourselves and this independent political thing. So this is something that it cost us a little bit a good image, or to have also a good relationship with other Spanish communities. So it's difficult to think about coming back home, honestly. It will be good, but something that I don't want to have. I don't want for my kids. I don't want that they have any limitation because of a language or, for example, a doctor. Imagine a doctor needs to have a certain level of Basque to work in the sanitary system. And from my point of view, it's like, if I have a heart attack, I don't care if he speaks Basque, Mexican, or French. He will
Okay.
open my heart and we work. So these are the things that is a little bit tough.
Okay. More limiting then. Because
Yeah,
Basque isn't like the same Latin roots as Spanish, right? Like it's
nothing
a
to do.
very
It's more
different language.
Celtic. I would say it's more Celtic from the north, Norwegians,
Okay.
more Viking things
Like I
than
remember girl, Begonia had a dog named Nesca, which was
Nesca.
girl in Basque, right?
Yeah,
But in Spanish it'd be chica,
nothing to do. Yeah.
right? So like I just remember it was like there was no way I was going to learn Basque over there. I was just trying to
Super.
become more fluent in Spanish because people that are speaking Basque are also speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not every people, but because if you go deep in the countryside, there are people that speak only Basque and not really well Spanish.
Okay.
So and there are different type of Basque. So it's a little bit they communicate each other, but it's really difficult to learn. I think it's really difficult to learn.
So you know Basque though, right?
No, 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 no.
Well, you don't know how to speak Basque?
I went to French school, so
Okay. I was like, so do you know three or four languages then?
three,
Because
three, three, three.
English, English, obviously. Thank you for
That's fine.
Spanish and French.
Yeah.
Okay. That's, I think, that was a big eye-opening thing for me is just how many people know how many languages in such a great way. Like you are very conversational with English. Like I said, like you far exceed my conversational abilities in Spanish, right? Like it's just mind-blowing to me how proficient people abroad are with multiple languages and how modest they are about that. Like here it's like, "Oh yeah, I know Spanish." It's like I'm like, "No, I really don't." Like cuz and I think that's when I came home people would be like, "Oh, are you fluent then?" I'm like, "No, I feel like that's so bold to say cuz there are so many dialects, right? Like what I learned Spain Spanish and then Mexico Spanish and different and then Catalan and I was like, "No, I am never going to say I'm fluent in Spanish because I still feel like I'm constantly like, ¿Cómo se dice?" All the things, like
Yeah, but here I think a lot of people knows different language because of the European situation. We have France just next to Spain. We have Italy. We need English to work because it's the language of everything. So it's not so strange that people knows Italian is super common that Spanish people knows Italian. So yeah, I think that's why. You don't have any other language around Ohio or around, it's
Iowa.
always English.
Well, in high school, you were able to learn, in my high school, anyways, you were able to learn either Spanish or German. And I think they had German because a lot of people in Iowa have like German Irish heritage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
wow.
my family's part German on both sides, actually. But like, I mean, even when I went to Germany, when I was abroad in Spain, I went there and I'm like, Sprechen Sie English? And he's like, Are you from Iowa? And I was like, Yeah. And so it's like that's literally all I needed to be able to say. And then he did the heavy lifting on German to English for me. And I got so inspired though that I went back to the university and took a semester of German. And it was so hard for me because it was like green. And I'm like, verde, grün. Like, and I
Sure.
immediately went to like, if I have to translate, I'm going to do it to Spanish. And I was like, I can't take two languages at the same time. Like, it's too much. So I stopped.
I think German is a super difficult language. It's nothing to do with Latin roots. It's more like declinations and so on. So I think it's on the grammar side, super difficult.
It was harder for me to learn, and I think it was because I'd already invested 7 years in Spanish, and so I was just like, I'm just gonna keep riding the Spanish train because I like Spanish. Anything else you want to say about Spain, Bea, or your culture, or
No, I think we have covered almost everything, no?
you want to talk about coming to America?
Oh, wow. A good chapter then.
What's that?
A good chapter. I mean, um, the first time I went to America, I was 16
Where'd you go?
to Chicago.
You know I love Chicago. So at 16, you came to Chicago. Were you by yourself or did you come
No,
with?
sorry. I'm confusing. I went to Canada with 16 and then to Chicago I was 20 something, I think.
That's when you studied abroad in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I lived in Chicago.
Yeah, at the
That's what
same time. So we were how many? We were like 20? 20.
no, I was 21 when we were in Spain, and then you came. I graduated the next year.
So
Would have been
23.
like 23 or 24.
So yeah. So first was Canada and then 23 was Chicago. Yeah.
So
I love
Chicago,
Chicago.
Chicago was your first time in America then?
Yeah, and it was amazing for me. No, I when I was with my mom, I went to New York when I was 15 or something like that. But I prefer Chicago.
I made sure you had a good time in Chicago.
I had a super good time in Chicago. Super,
And I
super good
think
time. And I think it's a super beautiful city. I remember when I told you that I'm going to go to Chicago. Okay, Bea, only go here, here, here. Take care of yourself. And I was like, okay. Well, thank you. But I loved the how was the park called the park the bean
oh, Millennium Park with the
the
beach.
Millennium Park, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing with the lake and so on. It was beautiful, and I remember all the let's say the jazz culture that have amazing. I
Yeah.
love it, and the multicultural spirit that Chicago has for me was like wow. Because I'm come from Bilbao, that was a super only Basque people, only close minds, so on. So when I go, I was like, wow, amazing.
Yeah, that jazz culture that you get to though, like is speakeasy, prohibition style, like yeah, there's some good jazz bars in Chicago. It's a lot of
Super
fun.
amazing, good jazz.
Yeah,
Good.
the whole reason I moved to Chicago after college was because of my experience abroad. Like I was like, I want to go to a city and experience life somewhere completely different and to be just a random person. Like I just want to be a random person.
Random person,
Someone
nobody
with
knows me. Thank you.
yes.
I want to walk in the street and nobody knows me.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how it goes. If I go with a flower in my head, it's gonna be okay.
No one cares. Like,
No
no
one
one
cares.
cares. And that was so different. Like, my parents would visit me in Chicago, and, they're used to being in Iowa City, Iowa, where, like, if everybody's out, everyone's going to the football game right now, like, and it's just everyone's wearing their Hawkeye gear, and we're all walking down the street to the game. And my parents were visiting, and I remember my dad being like, "Where's everybody going?" I'm like, "Wherever they want." He's like, "What is something going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's always stuff going on."
Oh yeah,
Well, where are
always.
they going? Where what would they be going to? I'm like, every person that you see right now is probably going to something different. Like, it's not like the thing that's
Yeah,
happening. Like,
yeah.
and I remember them just looking around being like, what the hell? Like so confused about that. And in that moment, I remember being like, and that's what I love about this. No one's keeping track of me and then reporting back to you on what's
It
happening.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are doing. Doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
was amazing. For me, it was amazing, and I really love it. And I felt like Chicago was more, let's say, somehow more European than American city. I will say it's more like I really felt super. It's in the Midwest, okay, but I felt like I know. I felt super good. If I would say one city to live, it would be Chicago.
Hmm.
Really, I was. It's one of my favorite cities.
So, what made you study abroad in Chicago? Because then you joined a university in Chicago and we got to see each other a whole
Yeah,
nother summer.
yeah.
That's awesome.
The thing was just to perform my English. That's it. Uh, it's important to have let's say a middle level of English to work. So I have. It was in the university, so I have like 2 years left before I finish my degree. So it was a summer I went there, and it was good. It was good.
I love that. Did you
And
get
I
to pick Chicago?
sorry,
Did you get to pick Chicago?
a pick. What is a pick?
Like, did you say, out of all the places I want to go to Chicago?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
did you got to pick where you went?
I picked Chicago. I chose
Awesome.
Chicago.
So I know you've done a lot of travel since you studied abroad. Where else have you been in America?
Oof, a lot of cities because of my work. So I went to Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, for all to California, Miami, Texas, Austin. I went to Massachusetts also, New York, uh, Vancouver also, but this is Canada. Um, More or less, those cities are my cities when I always come back because of work. So like California, New York, Miami, Massachusetts, Texas. Yeah.
And how do you feel about like bigger cities or other cities across America?
It's so different one from the other. So when I went to Las Vegas also, and when I went to Los Angeles was like everything was like in the movies, you know.
Yeah,
So it was somehow a little bit unreal. Not it was like I don't know how to say it, but like
real.
yeah, not real or not without essence, let's say, without soul, you know, sometimes somehow. So, but it was good. But everybody was like, you know, eating salad and super thinking about how they look and so on. This is type for me was California was like this. Everybody was looking for themselves, how I look, how I take care of myself. I need to eat everything green. You know, this type of healthy thing and. But people were amazing. Eh?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to doing like stereotypes on this on my trips. And Miami was super good, I will say. Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale and so on was super good. I love it. I love it. It was somehow also authentic, somehow. And Massachusetts, I remember, like with a lot of snow and so on. It was super good, and people were super. Everybody's super kind, you know. Everybody's super eager to help. So
Good.
yeah.
Good. That's
And
great.
New York, everybody is super independent from my point of view. Everybody's like working, 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 going fast, going fast, going fast.
Yeah. What are some like cultural differences that you've observed in America?
Well, food is one of the things between the different states. Food. Um And I think, and this is my perception, I would say Midwest are more proud of being Americans, somehow saying like that. Then, for example, West Coast is another way of thinking, is more open, more not open. Open is not the word. More not so focused in America, let's say. Um, Miami is more multicultural because it's a lot of immigration, so it's another word also, no? If, you can find, I don't know, tacos or but real tacos like from Mexico or I don't know, food from Paraguay or whatever because There are a lot of immigration. And in the East Coast, everybody is working a lot. And it's
Yeah,
not
very busy.
very busy. Yeah.
And do you remember I took you home to Iowa?
Sorry?
Do you remember when I took you home to Iowa and you came with me to my friend's wedding?
Yeah.
What'd you think of Iowa?
Amazing.
It was so small town, so very different than any of the other cities that you've been describing, right? Like,
But I love it. I love
you
it.
remember when I took you
Your parents were,
I told them they actually have the kids today so we can talk because I was like, I'm talking to Bea and she has kids and like she wouldn't care if they interrupt, but like I just want to talk to my friend. They're like, you're talking to Bea? I was like, I am. And Dad's like, we love Bea. So they're
it was
so
an amazing experience, Amanda. And I remember you had I remember when I get in your house, I was you have these big stairs and so on, like in American movies, and I was like, and everything was so um cozy, let's say, like warm. You feel like super. Your mom and you take a lot of care of me. Your sister brings me to the farm
yeah.
with the horses, and so it was an amazing experience. Amazing experience.
And do you remember we went to the casino? And do you remember this experience? My friend got married at a casino and we were winning. And you were like, is this what we call beginner's luck? And I was like, yeah, that's why all these people are here right now, Bea. We got to get out while we're ahead. It was so fun. It was
So
so much.
fun, so fun, so fun.
I was, I don't know. I just loved that we like flipped the script, right? Like our friendship started with me coming to Spain. And then
Yeah.
you're like, and now I'm coming to you. And we just got to keep the party going for years.
Yeah, and then our kids will do intercambio, okay? It's
I way want to do that. I think that that would be so fun.
gonna be good.
And then
Just
we'll
think
have to
about
come visit them and be like, well, we got to make sure you get there safely. So mom's going to
it.
be dropping you off at Miss Bayes. I would be way open to that. I think that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
And both of our little artistic daughters, I mean, think of their minds just experiencing a different culture and the art appreciation. Like, you know what I mean? Have you taken your daughter to the Guggenheim?
I haven't yet. I haven't yet,
See, like we could do that
but
together
she
with
will.
our kids. Wouldn't that be fun?
Mm.
Bea, is there anything else about America that was surprising to you? Or
I think the best thing of best part of America is our friendship. So I'm super happy about this.
same friend? I guess like when I look back on traveling, Bea, and meeting people like you and Begonia and experiencing life like through their homes and just doing it differently, it's impacted my worldview in a very big way. Like, I felt like growing up, it was like this town that I'm from in Iowa is like the center of the universe. Like, there's a lot of people that don't really vacation beyond Iowa, or if they do, it's like just to Florida or the same trip, right? And to me, I remember when I went abroad, everyone's like, why did you do that? I was like, why not?
Why not?
Why not? It just seemed like an amazing opportunity. Why wouldn't I take it? And it just kept my mind, I think, being over there, meeting you, seeing all these different countries, having amazing experiences, eating so much different food, and just seeing how people do life, like just fed this enormous curiosity inside of me. I'm like, whoa, what's it like everywhere, And just
I don't have time to visit every single country.
seriously, or the money to do that,
All the
right?
money. That's
Man, but
true.
if I did, I'd be on a plane every weekend. So I think that that really changed me. I didn't grow up having all these like amazing travel experiences, and I'm not like knocking my parents at all. It's just I didn't. And it woke up this monster like I want to learn about other cultures. I want to talk to people. I want to see how they do life. I want to learn new recipes. I want to dive in. Did you have an experience like that at all? Like I know travel's a big part of your career, but like do you feel like having these travel experiences has shaped who you are as a
For
person?
sure. For
In
sure.
what ways?
To be more curious, to be more open to other people, other type of cultures, to try to don't judge because I think everybody judge, but to try to be more open and don't judge in a first impression because everybody has its own situation, you know, and try to be more open-minded, not only in a professional way, but also in a, let's say, emotional, spiritual way. So I think everybody, if you can, it will be good to travel. And you know, I think it doesn't matter if you go far or if you stay near to your home because sometimes we only know, for example, Bilbao, and you haven't went like in a village 2 hours driving, and you don't need to spend a lot of money. You know, it's like only the experience to do the luggage to go on and to do this little trip and small trip. I think is somewhere from we can start.
Yeah. Is there anything you would tell listeners about like, I mean, I love what you just said about going 2 hours away, you know? So it's like pick a spot on a map, even if it's just like if you can afford to book a flight somewhere fun. If you can't and you just want to go for a drive, like go for a drive 2 to 3 hours away. Just explore a new place and
Explore.
find a fun little mom pop shop instead of like a chain restaurant and just ask people
Explore.
there, like, who are you? What's your story? And what do you think, Bea? Like, what would you tell people to do?
I think we are um, with in those times that we are living everybody now we are becoming super individual, and this is a good thing that you came up with. Just talk to people, go to a village and talk to the old man sitting there just looking at the street, you know, and listen to to the stories. People have a lot of things to tell, and this is also super good for us to listen and to learn from other people.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because Tom and I, like probably 8 years ago, we went to just an Italian restaurant in North Liberty, which is just a small town in Iowa, right? And there was an old man sitting there by himself. And Tom and I were on a date. And it's like, we go on dates all the time. Like, let's just see what's going on with this old guy. So we start asking him questions. And he's like, I'm an Italian mobster. And like, he's telling us all these stories. And Tom and I leave supper and we're like, man, okay, one, that all might be true. And that guy is so badass. Or he made all that up and we just had an awesome time tonight. Like either we don't really care which one's true. It was
But it
a
was
lot
an
of fun.
experience, you know.
It was just a lot of fun. And we're like, we had more fun engaging with him than had we just sat here and done our normal date. And so it's fun to hear the stories. I think that's part of what Begonia loved about living with me is I sat and talked to her
Yeah, it's
and
important.
got to know who she was. And Antonio, her husband, always said that like the other Americans would just like grab their sandwich and walk out and just like it was just a place to sleep. And I mean, yeah, you can live that way, but why'd you sign up to live with a host mom then, you know? Like talk to them, be with
Talk to them.
them,
Yeah.
and get to know them. They're incredible people.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's one of the most important thing, you know, when you go abroad or even to the village, 2 hours driving next to your home, it's important to explore and listen, not only exploring the nature, but also exploring with other people's stories and try to connect this human being thing that we are losing
Yeah. Any final thoughts you want to share, Bea?
it. I don't know. I think it has been amazing to have this conversation, and we need to travel or to travel back to Spain or travel back to to your home.
America?
So we need to
Yeah.
do it, and we need to
Both.
see both.
Yep. And we'll figure out which kids we send where, because I think that would be such a fun experience.
Hmm.
Because we were talking too, like, I don't know, I just, part of being hosted by Begonia has always made me want to host somebody.
Hmm.
Like, I way want to host somebody that wants to come to America and just open my home and my heart in the way that she did for me, and just hope that
Mhm.
someone thinks how you do about America or how I do about Begonia, or somewhere in between about
Yeah,
the experience, I just think it'd be such a fun thing. Do you ever
yeah,
see yourself hosting Americans
yeah, yeah,
or
yes, yes, yes.
yeah?
So we can do it, Amanda. This our plan for the next years is to try to connect our kids.
Perfect. I love it. Bea, I'm just so happy that you joined me today. It's always so, so good to see
Thank you for inviting me.
you. Yes. Um, I don't know how to wrap it up because I don't want to get off because I kind of miss you so much.
Oh, don't worry, we have a plan now for our kids, so we will see each other. Don't worry.
Yeah. I just seriously, Spain touched my heart in a really big way, and you were a monster part of that.
Oh,
I'm just
thank you, Amanda. Love you so much. It's
I love
amazing
you.
this connection with it. It's amazing,
Same.
amazing. 50 years
Starting to
later,
feel
here we are.
emotional.
But this is part of it, of this human being connection that we were talking about, no? More
Yeah. So, all right, friend, I love you. Thank you so, so much.
love you. Thank you so much. Ciao,
Besos,
ciao.
agur.
Agur, ciao.
I just absolutely love catching up with my friend Bea. She's such a treasure. And one of the things that I keep coming back to after this conversation is just how powerful it is to take that step outside of what's familiar. None of this has anything to do with one place is better than another, because every place, every person, every experience adds another layer to how we understand the world and, in turn, ourselves. Studying abroad didn't just give me memories, it gave me perspective. It pushed me to explore more, to move to new places, to stay curious, and to build connections that have lasted nearly 2 decades. Travel taught me to be more aware, more adaptable, and less naive. It didn't just show me new places, it showed me how I was being perceived and how I moved through the world and how much I still had to learn. And that's what this is all about. It's about saying yes to these new experiences. It's about being open to doing things differently. It's about listening, like really listening to the stories of people who grew up in a completely different world than you. If there's one thing I would pass on, especially to anyone just starting out or someone in high school that's feeling like they don't know what to do, but they have this societal expectation to know what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. Or even if you're personally at a crossroads, it's just this: go somewhere new. Talk to people who live differently than you do. Be willing to feel uncomfortable, surprised, even to get lost. Because that is where growth happens. And that's also where connection happens. And sometimes that can be where a lifelong friendship can begin. I want to thank you so much for being here. If this episode resonated with you or impacted you, if you would share it with a friend. Until next time, my friend, stay rooted, be brave, and live wildly intentional.